Alright, well, welcome to the 737 flight deck. So, obviously we went through the video, you know how to fly an aircraft. We'll still go through a little bit of the details.
Please do.
It's a little bit different. Control yoke starting off with, it doesn't do anything on the ground, obviously works only in the air. Well, we need to take this aircraft off when we're rolling down the runway. To get it off the ground, if you're going to hold the controls and bring them all the way back into your chest, it takes the whole full back pressure to get the wheels off the ground. Once you're in the air, you will need to bring the controls forward again, otherwise you do one giant loop-the-loop and then stall the aircraft halfway around.
Yeah.
So not ideal, but good entertainment. But so once we take off, just nose it down a little bit. And the same when you want to turn left and right, just turn the steering wheel left and right, all very small, smooth increments. Now when we're on the ground, we can use our feet. When we're on the runway, we use our feet. So right of pedals, so left is to turn the aircraft left, and right to turn the right aircraft right. Now while we're not on the runway, and we're all around the taxiways, we do have the option of the tiller wheel, which is on the wheel on the side wall there.
Yes.
That's it. So to turn left, it's even more sensitive than the nose wheel. Runs through 90 degrees through center. So to turn left, you pull down, and to turn right, you push it forward.
I can see the sign there.
That's it, yep. So if you do decide to use that and you find yourself going, say, too far to the left, instead of pushing forward to go right, just bring it back to neutral, like let go of it. It'll bring the nose wheel center again and track center, and then you can make the adjustment.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can find yourself fishtailing. Alright. Now we'll start on the outside here. We've got our throttle quadrant, which we'll go through. On the outside, we have flap. You have an understanding how flap works.
I do, but I don't know your settings.
That's right, yep. So here's 5 degrees for takeoff. We come down all the way down to 30 for landing.
Oh, okay.
Now to change these around, all you have to do is lift them out of the gate they're in and move them forwards or backwards. Now you can see at 15 and number 1, there are gates you can't get past.
Yes.
They're just little U-shapes, so when you get to it, you can drop it down and you can bring it out the other side.
Okay.
So do you want to have a go of bring that back to number 5? That's it, nice and easy. Alright, got 2 engines on board. Now we read these engines on the tachos up here, a lot like the tacho in your car. So say you want to bring the power up to 6%. You just push the throttles up to the point where that box on the outside more or less sits on the number you're after. Engines will catch up for you. There's a lot of weight and momentum into it. Same if you're on 2%. Bring the throttles back together. Back to when they sit on 2%. It'll come back and meet it there for you. We've got reverse thrust on board. So to make these activated, if you want to grab those and bring them all the way to the top. That's it. You see these charging up.
Yes.
When they go green, it means they're fully functioning. We use those down to 60 knots on the runway. So we can put those away so we know they're fully working. That's it. That's it. Yeah, good click down. Alright, and lastly on the outside here we have our speed brake. Now, have you heard of the term speed brake before?
Yeah, they're the ones that come up on top of the wings.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're in the air for usage, aren't they?
In the air, yeah, and for final landing.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is, at the moment it's in the down position. You can see that outer ring there, and it's got a little indent at the very top.
Yes.
What you have to do is lift this up and sit that speed brake on that little indent. It's called speed brake arm.
So it's sitting ready.
Ready to go, and it's also armed up here.
Okay.
Now when you land and all the wheels touch the ground, it'll shoot automatically all the way up for you and create as much drag as possible.
Right.
So do you want to have a go of arming that? It's a little finicky sometimes to find that. That's it. There you go. So when we're arming it, just on that little armed point, and it'll recognise that.
So you arm that once you're in the air, do you?
We'll arm it on final, when we're coming in for our final landing. Yep.
Okay.
Alright, now on the outside here is those trim wheels.
Yes.
So these will be spinning throughout today's flight. You know how it works, so just letting you know, if you do want to trim your own control column, on the outside here you have the trim buttons, so on your far left hand side. Otherwise I'll be monitoring it for you and trimming every now and then.
I won't be trimming or thinking, will I need to think of that?
I'll do it for you.
Okay.
So I kind of know where the trim settings need to be for flight.
Yeah.
So, but if you find yourself holding too much, definitely tell me.
Alright,
and I'll be able to trim it out and make it a little bit easier.
Yep.
Cool. Alright, now we'll mainly go over to these two here, our primary flight displays. Now, have you seen a flight display like that before?
On the helicopter, that's a Horizon one?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah.
But not with what's with it.
Not
I've not seen that's a compass, I take it.
Yeah. So this is just everything. Normally you need to turn the 6-pack. You have a 6-pack of instruments.
Yes.
That's what these two take over.
Oh, okay.
So on the outside we have our airspeed indicator, and this one here is that artificial horizon like you said.
Yep.
So when we take off we'll be looking at this because outside all you'll see is blue sky and it's not very helpful at all. So you got the nose of the aircraft and your wings either side, and when you take off Each one of these lines is worth 2.5 degrees.
Right.
So when we take off, we need that box to come all the way up at 15 degrees. Once we pass 1,000 feet, we'll come down to 10 degrees.
Right.
Alright, so we got
So
there.
can I just check?
Yeah.
15 will show there, or am I looking on here for the 15?
No, it won't have a number, but see these lines that go up?
Yes.
And you see 10.
Ah, okay, so I'll go
It'll be the second line above 10.
above it, okay,
Yep.
yeah.
And then...
Yeah, if I don't know something, I'll ask you.
Yeah, no, fantastic. That's the best way to do it. These ones along the top here that curve around,
Yep.
they're our angle of bank.
Will that come down as the nose is coming up for the horizon? Like, seeing it's 10, if I get to 15, will it be showing here?
Yeah, it'll move down for
okay,
you. The whole
right.
thing will move down.
I just want to know what to expect.
Yeah. It'll the good thing about that is it'll almost start to make sense once we're in the air, and it'll kind of kick in.
I'm used to probably that as my instruments.
Yeah? Okay.
All the rest of it.
No worries. Now this one here, top-down view, this is a navigation panel. Shows what's happening at the moment. So that triangle itself is our aeroplane.
Yes.
And now that will always point in an up and down position. That doesn't change. What does change is that compass around you, like you said before. Now you can see our runway is off to our right, 16 right, and we can visually see that it comes around to our right now.
Right.
So no, that's correct. Now we've got our center line. That white dashed line is a center line, extended center line either side. So when we're making our final turn onto our final approach, we can't actually see the runway. So we'll be lining up with these dashed lines.
Right. When you say lining up that way, horizontally?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. This will change. When we go onto the runway, this pink line will be in line with your triangle,
okay,
and that's the way you want it to stay for most of the flight.
Right.
If you see that moving left, you turn left to bring it back onto the top.
Right.
Alright, so we moved on to our tachos. We explained those before. We do have center fuel tank left and right. We're managing those throughout today's flight as well. And we have engine oil instruments along here. They won't hopefully go red. If they do, we'll go through procedures that needed to fix that up. Now these ones here are our flight managed computers, our FMC. So everything that autopilot looks after. We're not using a whole lot of autopilot today. It's up to you whether we do or don't. But we enter everything in here. Basically it gives us a takeoff and a landing speed. Also, if we did something like Hong Kong to Kai Tak, we'll set it up in here so it still gives us the track that we have to follow to get into the airport.
Yes.
Now that's also linked up here with this is our mode control panel. This is where everything visually the autopilot comes into that we can change. Now when autopilot isn't on, all these are black, they're not green. So we're still using them as a reference. We're going to fly around at 3,000 feet initially. Our heading just directly relates to that pink line there.
Right.
And indicated airspeed for today is fairly important. We're going to use auto throttle to maintain our speed, which means we get to set a speed on there and autopilot will manage the throttle backwards and forwards to maintain that speed for us. It's one less thing we need to worry about, and the good thing is that once we add in a bit of turbulence or something like that, it's the one less thing you really need to judge.
It's adjusting to that,
yeah,
okay.
It does it all for you. Are you okay with all that?
Can I just ask?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that the altitude?
That is.
You may have said it, I didn't recall.
That's okay. Yep, that's your altitude, height above sea level.
Yeah. So the takeoff, I climb to the 3,000 and then it takes over automatically, or do you?
No, it'll take off as soon as we'll start a roll. I'll increase the power, or you'll increase the power. Then we'll be pressing this N1 button. That'll take over that auto throttle to take off speed. And
so even at takeoff, it's taking off automatically.
Well, you're in full control, except for the power.
Right.
You can know.
I don't have to worry about that. It's more, when do I know where I've got to start getting the rotation of getting up?
Yeah, so up here we've got, it shows VR, which is V rotate,
Yep.
132. So when that point comes along is when you start pulling back on your nose.
So I've got to watch that.
No, I'll tell you when it is.
Okay.
So I'm here as a first officer.
I realise
that.
I'm just trying to make sure I know or I understand what you're saying. That's all.
Yeah. No, I'll make it as clear as I can. And
that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you now. So this up here were from memory lights.
Yep, lights on the outsides.
And
that's fuel pump, which we've been needing to manage today.
You're going to do that to me, are you?
Yeah, I am. We're going to be running out of center fuel tank at some point.
Right.
Now, before we enter the runway, we do need to actually turn our seatbelts on.
Yeah.
The fasten seatbelt. There's this sign here. Just pull that one all the way forward.
This one here?
Yep. That's it. Everyone knows that sound. It's ready to go.
Yep.
Now, as you said, these ones are correct. They're all our external lighting.
Yep.
Now, the moment that's all set up on this side, that's all our emergency lighting set up, we do need to turn our external wing lighting on. So all those 4 silvers, push them all forward, all the way down.
One at a time?
Yep.
That's all right.
That's it. That turns all our lighting on outside, and we're all set up to go. And last down here we have our radio. So
yes.
we have them mirrored either side for Sydney. We're set up on the ILS for Sydney. So that can help us come in. So you see the ILS, have you heard of an ILS before?
Instrument landing system.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's that diamond there. So when we're coming in on approach,
okay.
I'll explain it when we're in the air because it'll make a little bit more sense.
Yep.
But basically these are the pink diamonds we'll be looking for.
So this is on when you're lining up, isn't it? It's not on final, it's more of the lining up.
Yep.
To
when we're about 15 miles out, we can start to line up
and
make our way in.
Yep.
Now lastly down here we have our transponder. You know the transponder, how that works?
No.
Okay, so every aircraft is given a unique code by the air traffic controller.
Yes.
And it just gives air traffic control separation. So with that toggle there, all the way around to the right, it'll turn on to TARA, which means it's fully functioning, giving out that radio signal. That's it. Alright, perfect. And that's the rundown of your aircraft.
Okay. The video helped, but it's better now that I'm here. I can see it.
It makes a little bit more sense when you're in front of it.
Yeah.
But what we'll do is we'll taxi onto the runway, we'll make a full stop, talk through the takeoff procedure, and then get going.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you still need to build the engine speed up to, like, with newer aircraft, I've got the impression that you don't need to do some of the things they did say with the 747, of the build up of your, before you let go of the brake?
Yeah. We don't use brake, but we definitely do build it up.
Yeah.
Because if you go too much, you can actually surge the engine. And yes, we do. We bring up to 4%.
So how does that happen on an aircraft like this without it rolling forward?
Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you roll forward. 4% will give you hardly any roll forward.
Okay.
It's nice and easy.
Yeah.
For taxiing, we use 3%. So, and that's just for taxiing to get going.
Yeah.
So you'll see in a moment. So if you want to put your hands on the throttle and see that next line after the 2, that's 3%. Just bring that outside box to me. Yep. That's it.
You'll find I'll be very calm with this. It won't. Is that right?
Yeah, that's perfect. You can see outside we're moving forward.
Yeah.
So now just use your feet or the tiller wheel, and we'll follow that yellow line that's off to our right. We'll follow that all the way around. It turns. Has a good.
Now?
Yeah, it has a fairly sharp right-hand turn. That's it. You can see the center line here.
Yep.
That's it. Now if you're going to keep turning right, so that you line up that center line with your, so it's going through your right leg, you'll be centered down the runway. Now if you want to pull back on the throttle there, so pull back on the throttle, so we're just back to idle. Now I'll mention where our brakes are so we can come to a full stop. So where your toes are at the moment on the rudder pedals, slide your heels to where your toes were and just tip your toe together on top of the pedals. Push down, you feel some sponginess.
Have I got it?
Yeah, feel that sponginess? There are brakes. So don't worry that we're not level in line with the runway.
I didn't know how much to give it.
That's all right. If you push it together for the brakes, because they work independently. So when you're under power, you can actually spin the aircraft around. But don't worry about it too much. We'll correct the straightness when we're under power. It's a little bit easier.
Will that get corrected by the pedals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now
Release?
we do. Yeah, you can let them go. We're not going to roll anywhere.
Yeah.
We do have a retractable undercarriage here. So to bring your gear up, all you have to do is, at the moment they've got locks in it, so they're not going to come up, but you just pull it all the way out and bring it all the way to the top.
Right.
So if you want to have a go of bring that all the way down, it's got a funny little angle to it. That's it, nice and easy. Now, just be careful if you do use that trigger down there. You don't have to use it, but sometimes you can get your finger caught in between that and the ball, so just be wary.
Okay.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to, in a moment, increase our power up to 4%. Then I'll be getting you to press that N1 button where it's nice and settled.
Yeah.
I'll call out a few speeds, the main ones being V1 and then rotate.
Yep.
At rotate, pulling back, and we're looking then for that, bring that box up to 15 degrees.
How fast do I pull to get...
It'll happen fairly instantaneous. You'll pull it back and it'll come all the way up, and then you'll need to push forwards again to bring that nose down. You've got pretty much full power behind you, getting you up there. So when you're ready, if you want to bring that power up to 4%, that's it. Okay, now looking outside, so a little bit of left foot just so we can fix up that line. That's it. Now if you want to press that N1 button, I'll push it again, push it once.
It's got to go
that's
out.
It.
Oh,
Yep, goes green. There we go. Now you can see these kicking through.
Yep.
Full power's going through.
Should I be steering?
Yeah, you're steering with your feet. You're in full control.
Oh, okay.
Except for the power, you're in full control of the aircraft.
I can't use the
Yeah,
tiller?
not yet, because
Okay.
otherwise we'll
Ooh.
pick up a wing, and one wing will start flying before the other one.
This is terrible.
That's it. No, you're doing fine. You'll get the gist of it.
Yeah.
There's 110 knots, so we're
Right.
all looking even. We're coming up to V1. There's V1, and there's rotate. So hands on the controls, and bring them back into your chest. That's it. And looking inside, bring that box up to 15. So pushing forwards. That's it. There we go. Perfect. All right.
Bit up more.
Yeah, just a little bit, and we'll grab that gear. So
I
land.
know you go through. That's it now. Right.
Yep. So if you want to grab that landing gear all the way
Yep.
out and to the top. That's it. Now the main aim of the game is to try and keep your wings nice and level. So you can see at the moment we're turning left slightly, and you can
Okay.
see that we're losing that pink line.
Yeah. Now this is the.
Yeah, just turn a little bit to the right. That's it. Now we've passed 1,000 feet, which
Yes.
means we can now come down to 10 degrees. So push that nose forward. It'll take a fair bit of movement to get this aircraft going.
Okay.
It's quite the moment that it all tilts on is quite a fair way back.
For the Robin, if I did that, I'd be nearly
Yeah,
tucked
you
under.
would. You would be. Yeah. This one you'll find you need to move it a fair bit.
I am.
Now we'll get rid of our flap. So we'll bring our flap up to number 1.
This is the.
That's it. Yep, up to this gate. That's it. Perfect. Now just turn your wings to the right a
No,
little
I'm
bit.
starting to go above the 10 again.
That's all right. We're at 3,000 feet. So we can push the nose down all the way down between the first small line and that big line. So it's between 2.5 and 5 degrees.
Okay.
That's it. So holding it right there is perfect. Now you're going to press that speed button. Just once, push that. That'll maintain 230 knots for us.
Right.
You'll see your airspeed slowing down. Now if you want to bring the flap up to number 1, just all, yeah, so put it down, push forwards and up, and we'll bring it to 0 now. That's it. Okay. Alright, so now we're still turning. Can you see one wing is lower than
Yes,
the other?
yeah.
So turn to the
Very
right
subtle,
a little bit.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've got to bring it this way to lower it, right?
See, before you turn, see that arc coming out,
Yes.
that bend, that's telling you that you're turning. So if you bring that round to the right, you'll see yourself turn back into the right. There it is there. So now you're just slowly bringing it around again. Now when you're making small turns, if you bring that small triangle to that first line, either side of that white arrow, that's only 10 degrees and that's perfect. That's it. Okay, so we're at 3,000 feet, so now just keeping that box between that first line and that second, so between 2.5 and 5 degrees is perfect.
Right.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a right-hand circuit round to the
It's
left.
going above, so I'll
That's it, so
do
push
a
it, give
correction.
it a good push forwards if you need it. That's it. Okay.
What I was taught is you let it go back to its position once
neutral?
you're there. Yeah.
Yep. So I'll try and get the trim for you, but we're still turning. So what we're going to do is continue the
Yeah.
turn all the way around to the left. So with
Right.
that triangle there, start turning slowly to the left for me. That's it. No, to the left.
It was.
Yep. Now see that triangle coming out?
Yeah.
Sit that triangle, you're at the second line almost. So bring it around to the second line. That's it. Hold it somewhere between there and the third line.
Okay.
And at the same time, keep that box, so pull the box all the way up, so you're sitting at 5 degrees. So
Right.
pull all the way back, keep pulling all the way back. That's it, pull back, keep going, keep going. There you go, holding on that line there. That's going to maintain your height.
Right.
So we're 1,000 feet below where we need to be at the moment. It's not a problem. We'll slowly make our way up again. But just try and keep your triangle between that second and third line. So
Right,
that's
okay.
20 and 30 degrees. So turn,
As well as those two level.
yep.
Right.
So turn to the left a little bit further because we're at 10 degrees at the moment. That's it. So there's 15-ish. Keep going a little bit further. There's 20 and 25. So where that empty triangle is there between those two lines is
Right.
perfect.
Okay.
And keep that nose up. So the nose has to be up at 5 degrees. That's it on that line there. That's the way. Just keep that turn going. That's it. There's a fair bit of juggling to kind of
Okay.
find the even spot, but that's it.
It's just learning where
Yeah.
I need to be.
Yep. That's it.
What's causing me needing to turn? Is it wind or?
No, you got 5 knots of wind at the moment. You got it up here, so actually pushing
okay.
us back into into Sydney. But when you turn, you actually have to hold just a tiny little bit of angle on it. Whereas normal aircraft, you could go back and you would bring it back to the neutral position and it would hold that angle.
It stays, yeah.
There's a slight difference when it comes to a simulator. It's hard to simulate that wind on the controls.
Yep.
Alright, so we'll bring our wings nice and level. So turn back around to the right so those wings are level with that horizon point. So keep turning. That's it. Okay, now we're going to climb back up to 3,000 feet. So bring that box just maybe up to 10 degrees, not above it. And at the same time we're going to make our turn again, so we need to turn back around to the right. So that triangle, if you want to turn to the right a little bit, that's it. Just bring that triangle out to that first small line. That's it. Okay, and there's 3,000 feet. So we can start to push that nose forward again. So bring that nose all the way back down between that 2.5 and 5 degrees. That's it. A little bit further down.
This seems to correct and stay at the altitude you set. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
You're going above it or under it, so I'm easing off before I get there. It doesn't need that by the looks of it.
No, and there you go. You're perfectly on your centered line, which is absolutely bang on.
So that's straight and level now, that heading.
It is, yep. We just got to make sure we keep our wings level, so you need a little bit of a right turn at the moment. We've got wind at the moment pushing us around. That's it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to keep following that pink line all the way through. When we get maybe a little bit further beyond our runway, we'll start to come down to 2,000 feet.
Right.
And get ready for our long in approach. So the great thing about this is you don't actually need your rudders. It's all engineered out.
Yeah.
So it's only when you have a huge crosswind will the pilot need them.
So I'm at 3.6.
Yep.
You're wanting me to come down a bit more? Or?
Yeah, we'll make a slow descent. It's not a real rush to come down.
Okay, all right. So I'm just keeping it on that 2.5.
Yep. Just making sure we follow that pink line, which is perfect. That's all looking very good. I just saw the cut on your knee, the scar on your knee. Is that from a knee replacement?
Both knees.
Both. Have you had it once or twice done?
They've been done once.
Yeah.
And I've got an artificial shoulder.
Oh, okay.
As well, from sport. Am I...
One more and you'll be a bionic man.
Well, my wife says I'm escaping in parts. I'm trying to turn right and the diamond is moving the other way, so...
This one down here?
No, there.
Yeah, so that's...
trying to bring that back.
Yeah, just turn to the left now. So,
okay.
Yeah, so see, it'll go the opposite way. So see when one wing is lower, you're tilting towards that side of the...
Okay.
That's
so
it.
this, I just overcorrected.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, I'm in need for a knee replacement. So
already?
Yeah, I had an accident where a car tried to run me off the road on my push bike.
Oh no.
And I smashed my knee. So I've had the surgery, but it's only done so much. So I'm...
Well, they made me wait until I was over 60. So it's not looking good for you if...
No, well, it's all that they're waiting for is my knee to kind of seize up.
Right.
And then I'll have to get something sorted.
It's the best thing I did because I was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, well that's the thing. I'm in a bit of chronic pain at the moment, so they're I'm not, what's it called when you're in constant pain? Anyway, we'll get there eventually. Good thing is it doesn't stop you flying. So you can still have a bit of fun.
Well,
All right.
I reckon I'd be in a wheelchair if I hadn't done it.
Yeah?
Now I've gone down too low, have I?
No, that's okay. What we're going to do is maintain 2,500. So bring your nose back up, so pull back up between 2.5 and 5.
Yeah.
Alright, so now if I pull this up for you, you'll be able to see down here, that's your ILS.
Right.
We're 9 miles out from the airport.
Right.
So when we get down, probably when we get to about 10, we'll make that turn. So then we'll be on a 15-mile final. And we can be definitely set up, ready to go.
This is Sydney, isn't it?
For Sydney,
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it. Now, do you want to bring the auto brake into that off position? Just turn it off.
Here?
Yep. That's it. And it'll bring our undercarriage. Just pull it out and bring it down to halfway. And that'll turn it off. That's it. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make that left-hand turn here. So we're going to maintain, best as we can, try and keep a little bit of height there. Just try and maintain 2,500. If you want to start turning left for me, we'll bring that triangle out to that second line. That's the second line. That's
Too
it.
far?
Yeah, a little bit too far, and keep that nose up. That's it. Hold it there. Is perfect. There we go. We'll make an easy turn around. And at the same time, if you want to bring your speed back to 220.
Speed back to this.
Yeah, so this one here, just dial that back so it shows 220.
So then the autopilot's doing that throttle control.
It is, yep. So just lower your nose now, so we're climbing a little bit too much. That's it. You can see that turn marker here.
Yes.
We want that to be turning onto that center line. So push forward, so we need 2,500. That's it. And bring that triangle out between that to that second line. So a little bit further to the left. No, turn left. That's it.
You want
at the second marker. That's it. There we go. Yep. Just looking at your height here, so bring the nose up. That's it. That's it. There's perfect. So see if we just hold a little bit further. I'll just turn you around a little bit. See this guy here, this arc?
Yep.
See how it's lining up with that centered line? That's perfect. That means you can make a continuous turn and not have to worry about anything. So I'll keep that coming around for you.
So is that the right height again?
Yeah, we're back at the right height. Just keep that turn coming a little bit further. So just a tiny little bit round to the right. No, to the left, sorry. Left's the second line. That's it. Hold it there. That's it. That's the way. Okay. That's looking good. Don't worry about that alarm. It's saying you're 400 feet, nearly 400 feet above where you need to be.
I'm climbing though. Shall I put the nose down a bit? Yeah,
just slightly. There's no real rush at the moment. Our runway's off and away about, where are we, 11 miles out?
Yeah.
So this is working out quite well. Okay, I'll bring this up to 2,600. So there's that box there. So we're going to maintain 2,600 on the way down. Keep that turn going.
So just bring the nose up a bit.
Yeah, but keep turning. Keep turning, because we're looking for this heading here. So keep turning. That's it. So keep turning, keep turning. So that triangle has to come out somewhere close to the second. So we're looking to bring that pink line.
Is that the right spot? There.
Yep, we're looking to bring that pink line now up to the very top.
Okay. I mean, the lining up, the quick glance I gave it.
Yep. That's it. So bring your wings nice and level. So now back round to the right. Back round to the right. That's it. That's it. We'll just fly straight for the moment. I can see our runway out ahead of us. It's got 2 red lights. You may not be able to see it just yet. Okay.
Dropping the altitude, is that okay?
We'll maintain 1,800. So just maintain the height we're at the moment. I'll bring you down.
Yeah.
Now do you want to just turn to the right to bring this pink line to the top? So bring that triangle out to that second line. So turn right. No, right.
Sorry.
That's it. So we're bringing this line to the top. That's it. That's it. Okay, now at the same time, if you want to bring your speed back to 150. That's it. Yep. And our landing gear can come all the way out and down. That's it. Now our flap can come out to 5 degrees. That's it, yep. Now you can see that pink line coming in, that pink diamond, which means we're a tad high at the moment. And you can see the runway in front of us. It's got 2 sets of yellow lights in front next to either side.
Yes.
That's what we're aiming for at the moment. So now if you want to bring the flap out to 15 degrees. This one here, so pull that up and back to 15.
Okay.
Yep, drop it down. That's it. And bring your flap all the way out to 30 degrees. Out to 30. That's it. Alright, so there's our runway.
Now I'm right on level. I'm
No, so it's not quite
nose is
level.
going down.
We're turning left at the moment, so we've
Yeah.
got to turn right. So we see our runway outside.
Yeah.
That's what we've got to aim for at the moment. That's it. So now, that's it. Bring that nose up a little bit. That's it. There we go. And there's our runway on the outside. We're not quite in line. We got that wind. There wasn't really straight headwind. That's it. So just looking outside. Now turn left for me. That's it. Well, your speed brakes. Your speed brakes are ready to go. Oh,
Changing too quickly.
that's right. Now hands on the throttle for me. When they say 50 feet, no, careful, control, that's it, 50 feet. The power comes all the way back.
Yeah, not online though.
You're doing well. Keep that nose up. That's it. Hold it there. Power back. That's it. Oh, no, just that's all right. Gentle controls.
Yeah.
That's it. You'll come down. Keep that nose up a little bit. Keep the nose. Okay. Reverse thrust and bring it all the way to the top. That's the way.
That controls it itself. I don't have to go forward.
No, that's doing everything for you.
Yep. I'm sure it wouldn't have been like that in an actual flight.
There's a lot going on. I mean,
Isn't
there's just a lot going on. So you did very well. All right, so these two can go away. So we'll get rid of the reverse thrust. Okay, now if you want to use those feet brakes again to put up the very top, just push those together. That's it. All right. Now, do you want to do Hong Kong? We'll do a couple of circuits of Hong Kong.
Yeah, why not?
We'll see how we're going, because I just don't want to spend too much time around, so it gives you more flying time.
Yep.
But it's up to you.
No,
So
I'm happy to do it. It's just that I can see how amateurish I am with what I'm doing.
You've gone from a Robin to a 737. It's a very different ballgame.
Oh yeah.
But you're still. The thing is, your understanding of turning here is all really good.
Yeah.
So the thing is that you're still managing it really well.
I'm allowing for the Robin doesn't level out when you get to your altimeter.
Yeah.
You had to stop before you got there, otherwise you were forever going up and down.
Yeah.
This I set it and it just stops there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm having difficulty getting used to.
Yeah. Once you see your number, you just push it back between the first and second line, and it will stop on the dime for you. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, and that's what it is in the real aircraft.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Very different.
Okay. Alright, so just bear with me for a moment. If you want to bring your speed brake all the way up to 0 and your flap up to number 5, I'll set this up for us. Okay. Now, what time of day would you like? Do you want, we have sunrise, sunset, early morning, night
I'm just trying to
time.
remember which way. I'd say morning.
Yep, crack it on. So a bit of light.
Bit of light. Yeah.
Okay.
Not too many distractions.
No, that's good. No worries. I think this will look nice. How's that? Do you want me to get rid of some clouds for you?
No, that's fine.
No, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're taking off at Kai Tak?
No, we're taking off from Hong Kong. This is the new Hong Kong airport.
Oh, Cheplakai.
And yep, that's it. And we're going to fly to the old. Just gives us a bit of a route to go over and also get used to the approach.
Yeah.
Okay, something's not right there.
What was the announcement that came through as I touched down? Was that the tower talking, or because I wasn't listening?
Oh, yeah, no, it's just the audio. So it has a sensor telling you how high you are off the ground. So it goes 500, then 100,
right.
and then 50, 20, 30, 10, and then you'll come in and land.
Okay.
So when they say 50 feet is when you bring the power back
Yep.
and come in and kind of do that flaring motion to come down and land.
Flaring meaning pulling back? Put
Yeah,
your
just a
nose
slight
little
amount.
bit.
Yeah, because if you try and think the back wheels are behind you,
Yes.
that's what you want to touch first, not the cockpit itself.
Yep.
So
I don't know whether you watched TV documentary of ice pilots.
oh
where
yeah,
they're flying DC-3s and 6s and that in northern Canada.
yeah.
And there's
It's
some
amazing.
of the aircraft there.
Well, it's like Buffalo Buffalo
Airways. Yeah.
Yeah, they
I love that show.
yeah, they've unfortunately been taken off. They're no longer an airline.
Because he kept fighting with the officials.
And if you do that, you're not going to win many friends.
No. But it provided a great service. And the other thing he had was the avgas problems. He was using, I guess, the technology of cars. It's avgas now is what's mainly available, not the fuel that he was using.
Oh, okay.
So if he was doing really high Arctic stuff, he had to send fuel up so they could stop and refuel, because the refuelers there were carrying the later fuel, octane or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was so different.
That's not a cheap way to run things.
No.
Okay, that's much better. 142. All right, so we'll deal with fuel at the moment. Our fuel pump did come on at the last time we came around for that circuit. To turn these off, you just pull these down and all the way to the top. That's it. The same with the one that gets rid of that master caution.
Right.
Now we're chewing fuel out of the two main tanks.
Right.
So we've got plenty of time. Okay, now you've seen this approach many times before, but I'll just explain from this viewpoint. So we're at Hong Kong. We're going to follow that pink line. Now the difference is we're going to only climb up to 2,000 feet. We're going to make our way in. We're going to keep all our flap out, so we're nice, slow and low.
Yep.
We don't have to worry about too much. The only thing we're getting rid of is our undercarriage, so that we can obviously get that down later on. Now what we're going to do is climb up to 2,000 feet, make that right hand turn and fly all the way in.
Right. Now when I'm doing that, I'm bringing the aircraft around so that this virtually comes in to the line that I'm on then. Right.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we'll climb at 2,000 feet. I'll turn the heading around so that pink line will then go and match this solid one.
Yes.
And we'll turn to the right so they match each other.
Right.
We'll be slightly off to the left of it, just so that it gives us a little bit of room. We don't want to get followed all the way in, because that takes us to the threshold. And we fly straight in. We don't have any points where we can turn.
Yes.
So we just got to fly it in and then make that short right-hand turn to make it around.
Okay.
Cool? Okay. So when you're ready, we'll go through an automatic, like a manual takeoff.
Yes.
So you'll be in full control. So if you want to bring the power up to 6%.
So I get my food ready?
That's it.
Or is it
Okay.
better to use the steering?
No, because if you use your steering, the wings can pick up lift and tip you over.
Okay.
So hands on the throttle and bring it all the way through to full power.
Am I straight enough now?
Yep, that's good. You're on that white dashed line. That's looking good. There's that. That's it. That's the way. So hands back on the control yoke. So use your feet, otherwise we'll pick up that wing. That's it. Okay.
It's very, very subtle.
There's V1 and rotate. So pulling back on the controls. That's it. Looking for that 15 degrees. That's a 15. There's 30. So push forwards. Push forwards. 15 degrees. A little bit further down. Yeah, keep pushing forward.
Wow, that's a long way forward.
Yeah, there's 1,000 feet, so we can come down to 10 degrees, so hold 10 degrees there. And at the same time, if you want to grab your landing gear, landing gear all the way up. And that's it. So keep your wings nice and level so we don't turn, so turn to the right, just so we're nice and level. There we go.
Now, should I lower the nose yet? Or
Yeah,
it's
so
coming up to 2?
We're coming up to 2, so we want to maintain 2,000 feet. So lower the nose back down between the first and second line. That's it, there's 200 knots. So at the same time, press that speed button. That's it, that'll maintain our speed. But keep your wings nice and level, so stop that turn to the left, that's it. Okay, now we've got to turn to the right here. So if you want to start turning to the right, that's it, we'll bring this pink line up in line with our triangle.
Keep turning.
Yeah, that's it. Looking to bring that
My
triangle line
altitude's
to that
right.
second one. Yeah, we're a little bit high, but we can make our way down. Just don't go too much below the horizon. Try and keep around the horizon for coming down. Otherwise it goes a little bit too fast. It'll be hard to catch later on. That's it, so wings back to level. There's that pink line. So turn left. Keep turning, so you want those wings nice and level. That's it. There we go. So there's a Hong Kong island off to our right. We've got the Hong Kong bridge that connects to the airport. And flying straight into Kowloon. Okay, now so keep your wings nice and level. Now we'll bring our speed back to 160.
160.
Yep, that's it. We'll bring our auto brake into the off position, so we no longer need that. This one here, just turn that up one. That's it. And our landing gear can come all the way out and all the way down. That's it. That's it. So there's 2,000 feet. That's perfect. We're actually going to make our way down to 1,500. So if you want to change that to 1,500. That's it. It's a pretty quick turner. Yes. That's it. All right. All right. So basically, you have an idea of where the lay of the land, where we are at the moment. Great. So we're just going to hugging these mountains off to our left, and then we're going to make our way in. Okay. So we'll maintain, I'll bring this down to 1,000 feet. This is just a reference, so that reference box there, maintain 1,000 feet. And if you're going to bring your flap out to 15 degrees. That's it. Okay. Now straight in front of us is where that checkerboard is. It's a little bit hard to see at the moment, but can you see that bright bar of white lights? Can you see it's just off the... See the two peaks of the mountains, the small one and the big one?
Yep.
Look in the middle of that little dash, little hole, a little saddle in between them, and look straight down into the city, and there's a bar of white lights.
Sorry, I can't see
That's all right, that's all right. We're heading straight towards us. You'll see it in a moment. You're going to bring your flap out to 30 degrees. That's it, and a speed to 150. That's it.
150.
Now you're finding that, the nose is popping up because of the amount of thrust we have on board. So you're having to lower that nose a little bit. Now, our checkerboard is coming up to the moment, but we are too far to the left at the moment. So let's come around to the right, just so we avoid that mountain there. That's it, hold it there, just nice and easy. Can you see that bar of white lights, and they've got strobe lights pulsating?
Yes, I can.
Now if you see that and go just upwards to the left, and you'll see that checkerboard on the hill.
Right.
We're flying straight towards it, you'll see it maybe at the last moment. Our runway is out, you can see in the bay at the moment. Can you see that? Two yellow lights either side?
Yes.
Cool. We're looking...
So it's tight turn, isn't it?
Yeah, we're looking for 700 feet, which is where we're at the moment.
Yep.
So if you want to start that right-hand turn, just a slow turn, it's all visual now. We're looking just to land in between those two yellow lights.
Too much turn?
No, that's looking good. Now, same before, at 100 feet, I'll hand the throttle over to you.
Right.
And you'll be in manual control for landing. Keep that turn just a tiny bit, that's it. That's the way. So you got one red and two and three yellows, which means you're on that perfect approach. There we are, that's exactly what you're looking for. Keep that turn going, so we
Keep
just...
the nose...
Yep, but...
Nose is down, I'll get it up.
No, not too much, because we still want to descend.
Right,
so
okay.
That's it, hands on the throttle. When they say 50 feet, just bring it all the way back to zero. So now start to just lift the nose just a tiny little bit. That's it, hold it there. Power all the way back. No, power back.
Oh, back, sorry.
That's all right.
I wrecked that.
That's all right, we can still make it down. So hold that nose up. There you go, perfect. All right, hands on the throttle and full power. Full power.
Oh, full.
That's it. There we go. So we're going to take off again. You can see the end of the runway, so just watching out.
Yeah.
Okay, pulling back on the controls. That's it. And looking for that 15 degrees. That's the way. Landing gear now can come up. We've got positive rate of climb.
Right the way up.
Yep. That's it. Alright. So looking for 3,000 feet. So there's 1,000 feet, so we can come down to 10 degrees. Just keep your wings nice and level, so turn to the right so these wings are level with the horizon.
Yep.
That's it. And we'll bring our flap now up to number 1. That's it, so drop it down, forward and up, that's the way.
So I'm conscious, so I take my eye off this and I wreck that. And
No, it's all a balancing act.
Yeah.
You're doing really well. It's a really nice landing. That's the way. If you're going to bring the flap all the way up to 0, don't worry about those alarms, it's just a minimum alarm. Now see that toggle there? You're going to push that up for me. Push it up. Yep, that'll maintain our speed.
Right.
That's taking care of everything.
Right.
Now you can see here 3,000 feet coming along. So start to lower that nose, back down between 2.5 degrees and 5. Now keep your wings nice and level. That's it. Push forward a little bit. That's the way. Alright, perfect. What do you think of that?
It was easy. I know it's not real, but it was easier than I thought.
You did really well. That landing, the turn in was perfect.
I love the turn. It felt really good. Yeah.
It was spot on. That's exactly what you wanted it to look like. So it was, really well done. Now I'll explain what we're going to do here. You see where that pink line ends?
Yes.
That's Hong Kong Airport. So we're going to approach from the same end again, come around Hong Kong Island,
Right.
and give it another go. So if you want to turn right, maintain around 3,000 feet, best as you can, and we'll bring this pink line up to the very top again. That's just try not to go much beyond the third line, and keep that nose up at 5 degrees. That's it. Keep the nose up so you're losing height again. That's it, and hold that angle on. There we go.
Have I gone too far now?
Yeah. You only need, for your climbing, if you find you get a little bit low, so push the nose forward till 5 degrees. So give it a good push. That's it. If you find you need to climb or descend, hold it there. So keep the nose up.
Yep.
You only need to really move in between those 3 lines there.
Oh, okay.
That'll be plenty
For
time for it to climb up or descend.
Yep.
You're only 500 feet, which is no height really at all.
I was trying to watch the altimeter. I'm still climbing.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
No, we'll come down to 3,000. Can you see that arm on the outside moving up and down?
Yes.
It's a trend marker. So basically you want it level when you're trying to hold straight and level.
Right.
If it starts to go up, it means you're momentarily about to go up.
Is it the line there that you're talking about?
Yeah, so see at the moment it's going down?
Yes.
Yep, so you want that to keep coming down because we're looking for 3,000 feet.
Yes.
But when you get to 3,000, you want that line to slowly come up and just sit more or less level.
Okay.
It's just there to give you a heads up about what's about to happen. That's it, so keep that nose up. Keep going, up between 2.5 and 5.
I was watching the
That's
altimeter.
it, right there. There you go.
Yeah, got it now. And I
Okay,
can
so
see
there's
the
that
line
pink
is
line.
across
Yep.
too, yeah.
Perfect. Now you have to push forward because we do use a lot of thrust in turning.
Right.
So that's why it'll pop you up at the last moment. That's it, perfect. All right, I'll zoom you in
I'm
a
getting
little
the
bit
feel
there.
of it now.
Yeah, I mean you are definitely getting the hang of it. That's looking really good. It's good that we didn't start with this at the beginning because you can see a lot happens at one time.
I suspected that. That's why I said, no, give me something simple.
Yeah.
Because you've got to get that feel that things start to work with your brain rather than having to think about it. You know, it's becoming subconscious. I'm just trying to get down to 3.
They talk about just try and keep your wings nice and level. So see how that wing's a little bit higher.
Yep.
Turn to the right ever so slightly. No, the right. That's it.
Sorry.
That's why they have the term you want to be ahead of the aircraft when you're thinking.
Yes.
So you want to be about 2 or 3 minutes ahead of it so you know what's going to happen.
Yep. Now where am I on this? I'm still coming around.
Yeah, so I'll bring the map up here. So you've got kind of your business Hong Kong district here.
Yeah.
We're coming into that little bay and then we're going to come around and make that final approach in.
Right.
Now, if we want to get a few things set up, we'll bring our auto brakes. So turn the auto brakes all around to the right onto maximum up here. No, this one up here. Yep, one up. There we go. Then it's got maximum braking, does it all for us.
Right.
We'll also bring our speed back down to 200 so we can slow down a little bit. Sit within 1 or 2 knots is good. It's a bit hard. So it won't sit on 200.
Oh, right.
It never does. If you want to bring the height down to 2,000, so bring this dial that back down to 2,000, and we'll make our way down.
That's one, the one that moves quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Now if you sit just above the horizon, exactly where you are there,
Yeah.
gives you about 1400 foot per minute, and that's what you're looking for. That's the perfect descent rate. That's looking good.
Straight and level on line with the ILS.
Yeah, so we're going to come onto it. So once we turn around to this, the pink solid, you'll start to see the ILS come in.
Okay.
Well, it's actually a little bit different. It's called an IGS, same kind of thing.
Yep.
But runs on GPS. Alright, so let's make a right-hand turn. We'll maintain 2,000 feet. So just make a slow right-hand turn, bring that triangle out between the second and third line. And you'll just probably need to keep a little bit more back pressure just to hold that. So a little bit more back pressure, pulling back, that's it. There we go. If you hold it right there, you can see that triangle there, that
Yes.
the curve mark perfectly lines up, and that's fantastic. That's what you want to see. And just keep that nose up a little bit, keep that turn going. So we'll turn inside this little bay area. That's it. Alright, keep that nose up, so don't descend too much more. So as we go slower, you actually need to keep a high nose to create the same amount of lift. Yep.
I'm coming up close to getting online.
Yep. Oh, about another 30 degrees. That's it. So roll to the left now. Turn left so we don't overshoot it. That's it. There we go. Perfect. That's what you need to do. Alright, keep turning left so we're nice and level. That's it. Left again. So you just wings, no, so turn left. That's it, hold it there. You just want your wings nice and level.
Right,
so
okay.
Turn right, a slow turn, that's it, just your nice and level. Okay, now do bring your landing gear all the way out and down. That's it. Okay, our flap can come out to 5 degrees. That's it, just drop it down.
I can't see the
That's
thing.
right. Pull it up and pull it back, drop it down.
I knew what I had to do, I just couldn't see it.
Yep, that's it. Now at the same time, you're going to bring your speed back to 160. Okay, just
160.
that's it. Turning to the right, just till your wings are nice and level. You can see that ILS coming in.
Yep.
So in a moment, we'll start to push that nose forward and capture it in. Alright, do bring your speed back to 150. That's it. And our flap can come out to 15 degrees. That's it. So we're a little bit high now, so that we're above that diamond. So pushing the nose forward. Keep your wings nice and level. So that's it. And our flap now can come out to 30 degrees. That's the way. Just keep that nose coming down. So sitting just above the horizon.
I was keeping it. I thought I'd got too low.
No. So we're looking now for about 1,000 feet. So we've got to push that nose forward. That's it. Now we're seeing probably just on the horizon will give you enough thrust. Now look outside. We're heading straight towards that mountain.
Yes.
So let's come around to the right a little bit. Now, can you see that checkerboard? We're just coming in front of it.
Yes, I can.
Cool. We've got our bar of lights. It's just a little bit down here. We've got strobe lights pulsating us in. And there's our runway. So this is all looking pretty good. Just keep that nose up so we just hold a little bit of height. That's it. Now we can keep that turn.
Keep it below the horizon?
We can just, keep that turn going. Yep. Now it's just judging at what we need. If you think you're about to take someone's foxtail antenna out, keep a little bit of height. Otherwise, just keep it coming down.
So just below the horizon then?
Yeah, but keep that turn going. Okay, now you made a little bit of back pressure here just to kick it on over, so pull back a little bit. That's it. There you go. Nope, so pull back. Just a tiny little bit. That's it. Just your speed brake there. That's the way. Alright, so back around to the left. There we go. Hands on the throttle. It's all up to you now. This is all looking really good. All about small movement. Keep it nice and level. Where you are now is looking really good.
100.
That's it. So keep that nose up a little bit. 50 feet. All the way back on power. No, pull back. That's it. On the threshold, perfect. And reverse thrust forming.
Right.
So all the way to the top. So try and use your feet, not so much the controls.
Okay.
That's it.
I find that it's overdoing my foot.
It does.
Overcorrects.
No, it's not you. It's the way they're set up. It's very, very sensitive on the on the
it's
controls.
unbelievably sensitive.
So and we put those away. So we've come to a full stop. Yeah, normally they would be run on hydraulics. And it's hard to mimic that. The only thing that's different is the pedals. They are very, very sensitive.
The Yak fighter, that's the MI MiG trainer that I flew. Everything I did, it was hydraulics, I think, but it was mimicking the aircraft. So you got it was apparently runs on air.
Yeah.
And you could hit. It just gave you a guide, but you needed far more pressure than what this needs for your rudders, the foot control. So it's not very good finish.
No. You land on the threshold? That was a perfect landing. Like, you were straight in between those lights. That's why I yelled at threshold, because you were perfectly on it.
But then I spoiled it with my foot control.
Oh, but that's all right. We landed. We're on the runway.
Yeah.
You did really well. But what we'll do is we'll taxi off the runway and we'll go through a shutdown.
All right.
So just bring the throttle up to 3%, but at the same time put full left rudder in. We're right next to the taxiway here. That's it. That's it. So you can probably bring the power back to 0 now, to idle. That's it. Now can you see these green lights in front of us?
Yes.
They're our taxi lights, so we're going to follow them all the way around. I'll just give a little bit more.
I'm trying now not to be so heavy on it. That's better, isn't it? To be turning like that graduation.
That's it, yeah, exactly. Okay, we're just going to line up with those green lights. I'll talk you straight through the shutdown here. That's the way. Now, if you're going to put your feet on the brakes, we'll bring the aircraft to a stop. Yep. If we taxi back to the terminal, we'll be here for half an hour. It's
so
a little bit back. So
brakes,
push those forward. That's it. Perfect. All right. Now, if you're going to bring your speed brake all the way up to down, that's it. Our flaps can come all the way up to up. So just drop it down.
I can't see that thing and I forget it.
The problem is it's not made for a captain to do. It's the first officer's job to do everything else.
That would be too, because I'm reaching so far and I'm trying to...
Yeah. As a captain, you're just concentrating on that, and I'm doing everything else for you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the enjoyment factor is for you to try to get the real idea.
Yeah.
But if you're going to bring your auto brake all the way back into the off position, that's it. We turn all our lights off. That's it. Pull them all the way back. No, pull them backwards. That's it. Yeah, and the 3 silvers here.
These 3?
Yep. That's it. Now this one here is your APU. Have you heard of the auxiliary power unit?
Yes, I've heard of it, but I don't know what it does other than if you get a failure on something.
It is. It's a tiny little jet engine. You know when you're at the terminal and you see that exost coming out the back of an aeroplane?
Yes, yeah.
That's because there's a little tiny jet engine holding in the back, and it runs all the electronics on the aircraft while it's stationary. We don't need the main engines.
Yeah.
So we can turn that on, get that switch, just push it down twice. It's got so this one here.
That one?
It's got 2 clicks. Yep, perfect. And you see it start to spool up. It takes about 7% to get the aircraft fully running.
Right.
When it does, these 2 middle switches will turn blue. When that happens, these 2 switches here on the inside, pull them down and all the way forward. Just
these
on the
2 here?
No, just on the 2 middle ones here.
Okay.
Yep.
Forward?
Yep, perfect. So now the load has been taken off the main engines.
Yes.
So we can cut them off
so
and we don't lose any of this.
Yeah.
So all we do is, this is our fuel cut-off, so they can be pulled all the way out and all the way down to the bottom. That's it. Let's push them in. Yep. And you see here, we're descending, so that's the aircraft engine shutting down. When you get below 10%, legally we're allowed to let passengers off and ground crew in.
Right.
So we can grab the fasten seatbelt sign, it can come all the way off. That's it. Our anti-collision light and wing light, these 2 can be switched off. They pull them all the way to the back. That's it. And this one here goes all the way forward. That's our strobe light. We just want one steady light on now. These ones here, these are hydraulic pumps. We want to turn them off. So these ones you just pull all the way down, all the way to the top.
That's 4?
It. No, yeah, so just the 2 middle ones.
Oh, sorry.
That's right. Yep. That's it. Perfect. We can turn our outside heating, so the probe heats from the instruments, they can be pulled backwards. So pull it out. That's it. And the 2 outsiders, you've got 2 here and 2 here, pull them to the top. There, our window heating. That's it. And lastly, we have our transponder all the way round back to the left. This one here to turn that off, and we stop that remote signal going out. That's it, and well done.
Thank you. Was that what the guy in Malaysian Airlines
Yeah.
turned off?
Yeah,
That's the transponder.
Yeah.
So they couldn't track him on radar.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That it controls everything. I mean, that's your traffic separation.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But I did, like, this was all new, obviously. But I thought, how does he turn that off? I thought that would be something when you start the engine or when you do something that's going to take off, it automatically turns on your transponder.
No,
so the pilot can't do it.
Yeah, no, all pilots' responsibility. Because every time you fly, it's always going to be, all of these change to a different code.
Yeah.
So you'll have your own unique 4-digit code, and then you manually have to turn it on when you leave in the gate.
Okay. So they know
Yeah.
who's turned it on.
Yeah.
In the black box that's in the.
No, but usually it would be captain's responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't believe. I know I blew it on the rudders, but I can't believe I actually did get there.
Oh,
And lined it up well enough.
no, you did really. That last approach, you were professional. You can't get any
But I was getting feel. I could
Yeah.
actually feel that I was able to respond the right way.
Yeah.
It wasn't right, but like just you don't expect over one session to start feeling it, but I felt it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you know what I mean.
No, I do. No, I'm the same. The good thing is I can kind of see it. I instruct for a living, so
Yeah.
the good thing is you can kind of see when it's clicking, and that's the part that I get addicted to. But you could see it when we got into Hong Kong. You were nailing it every turn. You were right on it. You were getting it right. It was fantastic.
Corrections, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
I started to feel, I understand
And
what
you knew what to do. If something didn't do it right, straight away you do something else to
Yeah.
make it happen,
Yeah.
and that was the way.
You're just learning how sensitive. I'm going to remind myself for the next time that it's very fine. Because I'm normally very, very under on the controls here.
Yeah.
And these are far more than plenty of them.
Yeah.
Which surprised me. I thought this would be even more powered up.
No, these are old school in cables. They don't run fly-by-wire on these. So
No,
still the
okay.
cables going through. Whereas all the Airbuses, it's so sensitive that when they're coming into land, there's all a joystick on the side. And when they're coming in, they're set up. If they want to put the nose down, they'll just get their finger and tap it like that, and the nose will come down. They don't have to touch it.
I must say, even though I trust it, you
Yeah.
just feel more
Connected.
connected to what
Yeah.
you're doing. Thank you so
No,
much.
I'm glad you enjoyed
I
it.
hope you realise I've had a blast.
Oh, fantastic. That's what we want. But no, I had a lot of fun too. That was